Guess what today, March 31st, 2026, is? It's Holy Tuesday, the third day of Holy Week, and on this day, Jesus returned to the temple where he had flipped the tables and drove the people out, and he began teaching there. So the chief priests came up to him and started questioning his authority. They started asking him all these trick questions, trying to get him to admit that he had no authority. But you can't trick Jesus. Jesus answered perfectly each time. So then he told them a parable called the parable of the tenants. Basically, a man sent 3 of his servants to a vineyard to get some fruit, but every time they were beaten and sent away. So he decided to send his only son, who the farmers killed. The priest responded to his parable by telling him that would never happen. But we know that God has sent his only son, and in 3 days he will be nailed to a cross and crucified. So the priest kept sending people to question him, and Jesus just kept answering right every single time. There is just no questioning his authority. So Jesus warned his disciples and told them this: beware of the teachers of the law. They like to walk around in flowing robes and love to be greeted with respect in the marketplaces and have the most important seats in the synagogues and the places of honor at banquets. They devour widows' houses and for a show make lengthy prayers. These men will be punished most severely. Luke 20:46 to 47. Jesus is basically saying that they look like these perfect Christians, but in reality they're just making a big show. I want you to stop and think to yourself, do I wear a cross on a chain around my neck, or do I wear it on my back? So later, Jesus notices a widow who gives an offering of just 2 little coins. All these rich people are giving a ton of money to the church, but Jesus says that this woman had given the most. Everyone else had just given whatever they had left over, but she had given all that she had. And finally, on Holy Tuesday, Jesus talked about the end times. In short, he said that we'll know when they're coming. There will be war, natural disaster, and all this terrible stuff happening in the world, but then Jesus will return. If you take nothing else away from this video, I just want you to ask, am I ready for Jesus' return? If not, then get ready, because you'll either come to him when you die, or he'll come to earth. One way or another, you'll meet him sooner than you think.